Guys, this is Malorian, and this video here is going to be kind of a second sober look at my Buccaneer Brigade list. So this one here, you guys have probably seen lots of it on the channel lately, and the idea of it is just to have a bunch of Buccaneers with Magnus. And the idea about the Magnus is that with the feet you get to run up 12, and then with the feet you run up another 12, so you're jamming like crazy, and when you spam that many Buccaneers, you are just getting tons of boxes right up on them right away, and it's an amazing scenario list. Now, I've played quite a few games now, and I've refined the list as we went, whereas in the beginning I had tons of Buccaneers. I scaled it back a bit, doing things like adding in eliminators, which is just like a 1-for-1 swap, right? Unit 2 eliminators for 1 Buccaneer, getting them in to get a little bit more killing power, hold on to some flags. I dropped out my Nomads because I found they're being targeted and destroyed anyway, and replaced them with the Kayazi Assassins, and that list I'm actually really liking. I gotta play a little bit more, of course, but I'm really kind of liking this list. However, now that I've gone through the honeymoon stage and I've played the game a lot, I've now had, a deeper understanding of the list, and I want to kind of share that because, I was really pushing it before, and I thought it'd be good to have this video to show what my thoughts are now. So, right off the start, do I think this list is good? And I do. I do think it's a good list. When you look at this, you look at all the Buccaneers, you'd be like, oh wow, that's kind of a real joke, but it actually really has a really strong trick that's very difficult for a lot of armies to deal with. Once you get all those Buccaneers up, it's so hard to get past them. Making all those attacks is also a thing just on Death Clock, and if you don't break through that wall quick, scenario is going to be over right away. So it's kind of a one-trick pony, but it's kind of a very strong one-trick pony, and it's something that's just so out there and so dark horse that people don't see it coming. Now, with that, I've also had to realize that this list isn't as invincible as I once thought it was. When I started calculating, like, wow, there's just so many boxes. If you look at the number of wounds, boxes in the list, it was insane. And so when I first theorized this, I was like, the opponents just pretty much can't even destroy this many jacks. Even if you hit them really hard, the Buccaneers are very survivable. People are always surprised because they're like, oh, a 3-point jack, I'll hit it once or twice and they'll be dead. But it has 26 boxes at armor 15. It's pretty beefy. And so when I did the math out and said I got this many boxes, I thought, most games, they won't have a chance of going through more than half of it. And I've been proved very wrong. Going through some games where, say, I'm up against either Stormblades was a good one, or in the last one there with the Merc on Merc battle with the Prime Pressgangers and the Kayazi and the Earthbreaker going, my Buccaneers got smashed. Now, that's okay. It's good not going in and thinking like, oh, I'm invincible, I can hold the line forever. But you have to really realize that you have to be aggressive. You have to get in there, step that line, and get on that scenario fast. And with that too, I've found that the list is also a little bit fragile, where if something gets past you, you are in a lot of trouble, because like I said, those Buccaneers are only going to last so long, and you need to be spending those turns getting those control points. If you're not getting those control points right away, you're probably in trouble. So my Kayazi that I've added to the list, the Assassins and the Eliminators, they have really helped with that. But like a good example is something like in that last game there that I just did a battle report for, the primed Pressgangers got through and jammed things up, and then the Kayazi got through, and once they broke through that, there just wasn't time to recover. By the time I tried killing off guys and scoring, he's killed off so many Buccaneers that now he's trying to score himself, and the list kind of falls apart. So I think a big part of this, like I said, is really getting that aggression going on, really trying to get up there. Something too with my deployment is finding that I really need to have the Kayazi a little bit closer up. Before, I'd be having the Buccaneers on the front line, the Kayazi behind, but that sometimes means that when something breaks through, they're too far to countercharge. So I really got to change up that deployment so the Kayazi themselves are right on that deployment line. They can't lose any inches, because as I said, you have to eliminate those things right away. The other part is that you have to be dead on perfect with that Buccaneer placement. If you're letting models sneak through and stuff, that can be a massive deal. So just taking that time to say, okay, what models can fit through here? Let's make sure those Buccaneers are close enough so that they can't even get through. Because sometimes, you know, the prime press gangers were a perfect one where they would explode and damage my Buccaneers a whole bunch, but even regular troops could survive those POW 10 free strikes, get through and contest, and that'd be a real problem. So positioning really important, the deployment really important, being aggressive really important, and that's really it. So where I'm standing on this right now after all these games is, again, saying that is the list good? Yes. Is this going to be a massive dominant list that's going to be start like sweeping across the tournament scene? No, it's not anything like the really powerful like Bradagus list or anything like that. It is good, it is interesting, but it's also a ton of fun to play. Like, the thing is that every game I am really enjoying it because it's so janky, it's so out of the box. You know, you have so many jacks, you get to do all these like power attacks that you don't normally get to do. You just get to have like this silly army that everybody's enjoys seeing. And the thing is too, is that I've also found that my opponents always enjoy playing against it. It's twofold. One, they love playing against it because it's something that's so different, and two, they love playing against it because they get to destroy a whole bunch of stuff. When I play with my Buccaneer list, I typically get almost no points destroyed because I'm only killing key models and holding back, and meanwhile I'm just getting torn apart and he's destroying jacks. So my opponent's loving it, whether they win or lose, because they get to smash it. I'm loving it because I'm having so much fun. And at the same time, it's also a very solid game, and the Buccaneers stand a very good chance. So I know there's been some people messaging me saying, wow, I think I want to get into these Buccaneers. And you know what? I think if you want to make that investment, this could be a very solid list. If you're a person that's going to your local tournaments and this is something that you would be wanting to invest in, you know, I'm not going to tell you like, no, you shouldn't do it, it's not worth it. It is very good. It's a strong, solid list, but just realize that it's not like the Bradagus list. It's not like the super, you know, tanky thing. And it has its weaknesses, and it's not the invincible. Even though there's tons of boxes, you know, those boxes only last so long. So there you go, guys. I thought I'd give this nice little update here after I played for a while. I'm going to be playing the Buccaneer Brigade more, but I'm also going to be trying it now with some other casters. I have a Magnus 2 build I want to try. I have a Shay one I want to try. Even an Ashland one I want to try. So I'm going to start now. After I played these games, so many with the Magnus, I'm going to start branching out and trying some other builds with other casters. So there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. Loving the Buccaneer Brigade, and you'll be seeing more of them. So catch you later. Bye.